Sam with SG1 back for a video. It's a week since I was at Auto Assembly. It's been a week. I thought I'd leave it, but this time last Thursday we were 2 hours away from Birmingham. Well, I decided to leave it a few days. I've been back since Monday and it's now Thursday. I thought I'd leave it a couple of days to kind of reflect and sort of think about what I was going to say. Didn't work out that well. I'm just going to wing this like I always do. It was awesome, plain and simple. It didn't feel like Auto Assembly at first because I think it was largely due to the fact that new venue, you know, some of the key players were missing. But saying that, I had a absolute blast. I really did. I mean, all the people that were there were just the best people I've ever known. To be perfectly honest, you know, they are some of the best people I have ever met in my life. And I will consider every single one of you as, you know, a dear friend. I'm getting emotional now, fucking hell. You know, a big shout out to Ray and George, who and Mike, who we Thursday night went up in their room and we just got insanely drunk, and it was just such a laugh. It really was. Talking everything from how religion is bad to how, you know, just and everything in between, really. You know, it was that kind of a deal. But like I say, I love all those people dearly. It was a pleasure to see Dean back, Dinotron, who was missing last year, who back as the MC. That felt like Auto Assembly, you know. What else? As a whole, I think the show had its problems. There was a few technical issues, but you know, a new place, you're gonna expect that. There's a couple of other problems as well. The guests were great. Michael Bell, fantastic. G1 Prowl, Scrapper, Bombshell, Paul Harding, fantastic. Preceptor, and Townsend Coleman, who voiced Sentinel Prime in animated, and of course most famously known as the Tick, and Michelangelo from the Turtles. All fantastic guests, all fantastic guests. But I mean, now Auto Assembly has kind of, when I first went back in '09, which was my first one, which was there was something special about that year. There was something really special about Auto Assembly '09. If you weren't there, I can't explain it. I really can't explain it. That's where I met everybody and things like that. And since then, because I'll be honest, I went there with the intention of meeting Greg Berger and eating James Collett, and picking up a few toys and just, you know, sort of hanging out. Didn't expect to run into anybody. Because like I say, it was a surreal moment. I walked out on the balcony and everybody I subscribed to, we sat there having a pint, you know, and they made me feel extremely welcome. I'd never in a million years expect to be sat with those guys the entire weekend, having a blast, having fun, and then becoming my friends. I was kind of like, oh, you're so and so on YouTube, or, you know, your videos are good, blah blah blah, and that'd be it, you know. But since then, Auto Assembly is no longer about the guests. Although the guests are great, it's not about the toys. All the toys are great. It's about the people. I now look at Auto Assembly as a chance to hang out with my friends that I don't see very often. And we do. I mean, there is like no time in between you know. And we just have the best fucking laugh you could possibly have. People said to me, "Oh, you're just gonna go buy toys?" Yeah, I'll go buy toys, but I'm gonna go hang out with some of the craziest bastards I've ever met. You know. Like I said, there was a few people missing this year, which was kind of sad. But you know, they couldn't come for whatever reason. But I did meet some new people, some really new people. Damage, I forget your real name, who followed me on Twitter a couple of days before and was one of the people he wanted to meet. Gareth, and I forget your screen name. Sorry. His assembly, he went mental, you know. And I think his name was Matt, who was really cool. I forget his name. I do apologise, I forget your name. But and Lisa, Darkest Hour 17. What a lovely girl. She was absolutely lovely, you know. And she was a bit nervous to meet people and things, and I just said, just go and meet, you know, just sit down and meet, you know, and talk to people, and that's how you get to know them, you know. That's how I got to know, you know, all the rest of them, you know. A big shout out to the Solar Maniac, Mr. Simon Williams, who couldn't make it. I'm so glad you like your Prezi we sent you. I'm so glad you like that. And I'm so glad to hear that it made you happy. So that's good. That's good. One of the one of the highlights of the weekend was a drunk Chris McFeely. That was quite funny. But yeah, I spoke to people. I just hung out in the bar. I bought toys. I generally had a fantastic time. Really. I've got a bit of the old auto assembly syndrome at the moment, so I'm not feeling too bad. I'm not feeling too good, rather, should I say? Although it's I've taken some sort of painkillers and that, so it's on its way out. But yeah, as a whole, I think brilliant. Really good. Like I say, a few technical issues, but you're gonna expect that in a new place. The script reading was fantastic. Laughed my tits off. I karaoke'd. I drank enough to kill the average man, and generally, it's just been an absolute blast. And I wouldn't change it. And God forbid, I couldn't go one year. Really, I think now I have to go. Regardless, if I have to go and not eat for 4 days, I will go to auto assembly, because I do not want to miss the chance of seeing my friends, and some great friends at that, you know. But other than that, I think now I've gushed. I have got some stuff that's signed. I've got loads of stuff signed. I'll probably do a separate video for that. It's all downstairs anyway. I really need to rearrange my collection, because now I've got some additions. So yeah, onto the haul really. Like I say, not a big haul this year. Not a big haul. Firstly, one of the cosplayers. Oh, the cosplaying this year was fantastic. Tori come second as Desirous, but the guy who come first came as a swarm of scraplets, and I managed to snag one, which is pretty cool. It really was pretty cool. There was a lot of these going around. This one's called Bitey. But yeah, that was really cool. And there was like a mad rush to go get them. But yeah, I got that off Tricky, who was handing out free stuff if you said the immortal line, "Commence the bootin'," which is from the Happy Hour podcast, which you can go find on the Nerdsphere. There will be links somewhere either on here or down there somewhere. He went up to him and said, "Commence the bootin'," and he got a minicon, which is pretty cool. I like free stuff. It's pretty sweet. Kind of looks like Leader 1, Should have been leader 1, but you know, there you go. What else did I get? Oh yeah, I got one of these. When we were recording a live happy hour, and so one of the things you had to reach in a bag, reach in a box, sorry, and pull out some plastic crack. Some people got Lego minifigures, some people got Doctor Who minifigures. Me and Rob being Hot Robimus, both got a dinosaurs, which is like a battle game with a dinosaur in it, and I got a T-Rex, and he got a pterodactyl type of thingy, which is pretty cool. Again, free highlight, free stuff. But on to the meat and 2 veg in my haul. Firstly, I got Classics Prime of King Grimmy, thank you sir, 25, which is really good. And I've not had a Classics Prime yet, so he is really cool. I do like this mould a lot. Well, what else did I get? Off Gruffy, I bought... everything's falling out. I got Botcon Autobot Spark, which is pretty cool. I like this mould. So I was after some G2s. I love the pink on it. It's great. It's kind of ridiculous. So I got him. And sort of the main. Oh wait, hang on. Something else. Off Dino, who had a few of these. I bought a tick, and it's signed by Townsend Coleman, which is fucking awesome. I fucking love this. I need a place to display it. I haven't got no room for it at the moment, but I'll think of something soon. Yeah, that is fucking cool. I really do love it. The tick. You know, spoon. And I bought the main reason for the dealer's room for me this year was to obtain these two, and it is Encore Twincast. As you can see, he's well and truly been taken out of there and played with so far. And Encore Sound Blaster, which I have to say is my favourite of the two, because in fact I've got him here. Oh shit, it's all falling down. Fuck. Which is here. He is fucking badass, I will tell you. And I love the fact that they've painted his eyes red and filled in the gap between his nose and his faceplate, which is pretty fucking cool. I really do love this. The black just works so well. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, Twincast is pretty cool too, but I think the best of the pair is this guy, really honestly. I did get... where is it? I've probably lost it somewhere, unless I put it somewhere safe. Off Mr. Wolfgang 1, Mr. Gerard, he gave me, well, we traded Metroplex parts. I needed the antenna, the one that you plug in, and he needed the little tank, so I had extra one of those, so I just traded it over. Pretty cool. So now I've got a complete G1 Metroplex, which basically cost me £1. Because last year's auto assembly I bought the Junker body, which is in great condition, just needs repo labelling, and it's basically cost me £1, and I got all the parts, and I've got enough parts. And my friend Stu, who didn't go to auto assembly, he gave me a load of Transformers back at the start of the year, and he gave me like another fuckload of Metroplex parts. That's how I was able to give Gerard the thingy. But I've got enough to keep Metroplex looking badass with all his arms to the teeth of his guns, and keep 6 gun in 6 gun mode, which is pretty cool. So yeah, oh yeah, and I did get this as well before I do go. Last Stand of the Wreckers hardcover. Oh, you can't. There are no words to describe. And I got this signed by James Roberts, Nick Roche. Oh, look, Nick Roche drew me in Overlord as well. Oh, I am going to reread this. I've read it 50 billion, thousand, million times. I don't care. I'm going to read it again when I'm feeling a bit better. I want to reread Bullet. I mean, this particular version, I mean, you've got Bullets in it that was in the trade paperback anyway. You've also got some... Shut up, that's me. Screensaver. I mean, you've got First Draft, you've got sort of like the script, you've got 0 Point, which is another story. You've got just like mini stories, a couple of mini comics in there. You've got another one called Escape. You've got guest artists doing drawings. Like I say, you've got script extracts. You know, this is like the Ultimate Edition DVD. You've also got a cover gallery in there, and you've got character bios. You've got character bios, which is fucking cool, I think. Really cool. Can't wait to read those. So, yeah, I think you'll find a successful haul, you know. Oh, I did get this signed, which is kind of a tradition for me at the minute. All Assembly. Getting all the voice actors to sign my pass. You know, we've got Townsend Coleman at the top, Michael Bell in the middle, and Paul Harding at the bottom. So that's pretty cool. It's you know, a little bit of a tradition for me. So yeah, what else? That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got. Because like I say, there was not anything I really was after this year, apart from the Twincast and Sound Blaster. But I can't wait for next year. The guests for next year are Neil Kaplan, who was our Addy Pram, Dan Gilbertson, who is G1 Bumblebee, and more importantly, Spider-Man from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, which is fucking cool. And fangirl, if any fangirl's going to watch this, you're going to probably wet yourself when I say this name. Steve Bloom, who's done fucking everything. Who's currently Starscream with Transformers Prime. But you see, I want to meet him because he was Jamie in Megas XLR. Fucking love that show. But yeah, big thank you to Simon Plum and all his little minions that were running around, making sure everything was running smoothly and things like that. Big shout out to you guys. You made the convention work. Without you, it'd be a mess, to be honest. You know, big shout out to Ad8M, Logan Blaze, Jamie Harris, Carl Prime, Richard Fieldhouse, who were committee and were filming and just generally making things run on time. Without, like I say, without you guys, we wouldn't have the convention. A big thank you to all the guests that came. Big thank you to seeing all of you guys again. And next year, Raz, you've got to come. Nicole, you've got to come. Simon Williams, you've definitely got to come, mate. Stu and Slick, you've got to come. So yeah, you've got to come. RFC guys, you've got to come. Oh, one thing I will say before I go, a big, huge, massive thank you to the Lady Wreck who picked me up some Twinkies. Yes, I had Twinkies that weekend. Thank you so much for picking those up for me. I really appreciate that. But yeah, I'm going to go now. I've waffled on far too much. So I'm going to go. I'm going to render this now and upload it in a minute and see how it goes. So yeah, I am going to go shop. I'm going to go and get something, you know, just for a walk really. And I'll catch you all later. Bye for now.